Good morning, good morning. Welcome everyone to the Working Trader, where we look at the forex pairs Euro USD and GBPUSD and come up with trade analysis and possible trade ideas for the day. And so we always start with the news to see what we can expect for the day. So today we have GDP and core PCE. Those are the main ones, and then of course unemployment claims as well. All right, so let's start with a recap of yesterday, what we're expecting, and then let's see what we can come up with for today. So starting with Euro USD, we can see that we had a change of character bullish, and then we had strong bullish push upwards. All right, and so at this point the expectation is that the pullback, right, for the internal and the swing on the daily is complete, and now we are looking to go long, all right, to target those weak internal and swing highs. And then looking at the 4 hour, we only have so we had a bullish break of structure. Okay, we've had a bullish internal break of structure. Of course, we mitigated a 4-hour supply, and we have had a strong reaction from there. And then from there, I was anticipating that price would now be willing to come back down. Okay, at least mitigate either this 4-hour POI, which is the decisional. If this fails, then we'll be looking at the extreme. Okay, but the expectation is still that price is now going to mitigate before it continues bullish. And then looking at the 1 hour, we did not have any clear structure really to look at. So we do have this internal fractal, or rather a fractal structure break. Okay, I didn't mark this, but you can see price is reacting from that area at the moment. However, ideally I would love to see price come and mitigate at least this daily or nested 4-hour and 1 hour area, okay, in order to start looking for longs towards this week swing high. So pretty much everything is bullish. In the meantime, of course, we're in a pullback phase, so we can only wait until price mitigates or reaches these nested POIs. On the way down, we didn't really have any clear structure, except of course we had a choke right here, and then we had this 1 hour supply. Obviously we could measure it all the way from the top, right, from there all the way to the top. So this supply had already been mitigated here, and then we had a push down and then came back again, and we may have swept or eliminated the supply, but after that then we had a strong reaction coming down. Okay, so that's yesterday's analysis on the euro dollar. And then looking at the pound, on the pound yesterday we didn't have much because prices stuck within this supply and demand, okay, and the range is too small as well. So on the daily, there wasn't much to talk about. All right, so let's see on the lower time frames. On the lower time frames, we have this supply, okay, which was mitigated once, and then we're expecting a deeper mitigation. Now we've had a reaction, and then we had this area which gave a reaction, okay, gave a reaction, and then we had a second push in, right, and then eventually the area has been violated, okay. So what this means is on the 4 hour, the internal, right, which is still bearish because this is our last bearish break of internal structure, okay, it's still bearish and it's still holding, okay. So demand areas are failing, okay. Well, at least our first demand area has failed, so it is possible that price could still be looking to continue downwards towards this weak internal low. And then on the 1 hour, pretty much we're looking at this newly formed supply, okay. After price went to the extreme, come back, we had a push up, and then we had a sweep of this low, okay. So this could have been resting liquidity right there, okay. And then price did come in to mitigate that again, and then take out this extreme nested POI. Now we can see obviously the structure is not very strong, okay. We don't have strong bullish candles from it, okay. So you look at this, we have 1, 2, 3 strong bearish candles with an imbalance, okay. So that's a helpful feature for a zone that is likely going to work if price reaches it. And then so obviously we had this liquidity which was then swept right there as price stepped into the zone, and now the expectation will be price will continue bearish. All of this, there's no clear imbalances, all right. So we may expect price to reach these extremes, okay, maybe give a reaction or even take that out. So that was yesterday. So now looking at today, so I'll start on the pound. Looking at today, the analysis is still the same. Price is pretty much ranging right now, right? We are in a price is in a tight range. So we may have to wait until price either sweeps the high or breaks the high, or comes down, sweeps and breaks the low. And then if it comes back into the range, right, then we may be looking to go up, or if it breaks and closes below this area of supply, then creates a new strong, right, and creates a new strong supply area after it closes, and then we have maybe a stay away candle, you know, then we can be looking to take shots. So looking at the 4 hour, at the 4 hour we do not have any POIs really on the leg down, okay. We have this, which is pretty much just a pretty big wick at the bottom. So usually these areas are likely to be eliminated, okay. Those areas are likely to be eliminated. So we've already seen failure of a demand area. The 4 hour internal is still holding, so it is likely that we could see this weak low being run. Price is in a premium at the moment. Now we have not created any strong supply areas either, okay, except that this supply at the extreme is one that is still holding, okay. It's one that is still holding. So bias is bearish, but we do not have clear structure to work off from. Okay, we do not have any clear structure to work from. So bias is bearish for the pound dollar, but we do not have any structure. So maybe until either we create a strong supply from here, or after breaking these lows, then we have stay away candles, and then we come back to mitigate the zone, and then we continue to look for shorts. But as it stands, bias is bearish, but we don't have any structure from which to look for shorts. So let's look at the Euro USD. So for the Euro USD, we have this bullish change of character. We have a strong demand area, okay, as a result of that choke. So we could measure, all right, we could have a zone the way I've marked it, all right, or if you want to be conservative, you can still bring it a little bit lower, all right, to the extreme, like that. Okay, so either way, I had marked it at the top because these last two bearish candles and this bullish candle, they're pretty much the same size. Okay, they're pretty much the same size. So price could just simply touch the proximal line and then take off. So we already have our stay away candle, okay, which is a benefit. So expectation now is that price will probably drop to mitigate that, and then we'll have a continuation to the upside, maybe targeting this week internal high, and then we have as well our week daily swing high. So we look at the 4-hour. So right there, looking at the 4-hour. So 4-hour is bullish, right? So we've had our bullish break of structure. We've mitigated this extreme POI, right? And then we are reacting from there. So it is highly likely that we could continue bearish, at least to mitigate this nested internal POI, right, at the proximal of the daily. And then if that fails, then we'll be expecting mitigation of the extreme. All right. So as it stands, we'll be looking at this POI at the proximal, right, of the daily to be mitigated, and then probably get a reaction from there. All right. And then looking at the 1-hour. Looking at the 1-hour, we have our 1-hour swing is bullish. All right, 1-hour swing is bullish, and then we do not have any. All right, so we do have this newly formed, right, supply right there at the top. It's slightly swept. Okay, so if we look at the high of that candle is 1.17431, and then the high of this one is 1.17429. all right, so we did sweep slightly, okay, right there. All right, so this supply was eliminated. All right, and then we have this POI right there. So expectation We do have strong departure as well, 2 ERC candles, break of structure. All right, so expectation would be either price mitigates and then continues down. All right, however, because of the distance already price has moved, I would doubt that it will come back to mitigate. If it comes back, then likely it will fail, because remember, we are bullish. All right, so expectation now would be that either price will maybe sweep this area here, come into this area, react from there, and then come down, and then we go on to mitigate our extreme. All right, that is nested in the 4-hour POI, and then from there we can be looking now to go long. So an advantage for that is that price will be in discount. Okay, so this is our discount, this is our equilibrium of the range. So here we'll be in discount, so that just adds to the odds for the position. All right, so that is the analysis for today. So on the pound, we are short, but we don't have any structure to short from. And then on the euro, we are bullish, but price is in the middle of the range, so we are expecting a retest of the nested POIs in the daily and 4-hour demand zones. Okay, so other than that, please do like, subscribe, and share, and leave a comment if you're finding value in this material. Otherwise, have a good day. Working Trader out.